Thank you all very much, and it is great to see the chamber back in action and crowded as ever. And it's really nice to welcome you all back. I want to take a quick second to thank my family who's here. I know many of your family members are here as well. I have my beautiful wife, Marilyn, here with me, who deserves a very large round of applause. On our wedding day, Franklin was my best man. Where's Frank? Frank's somewhere over here, yeah. Yeah. Don't applause for him. And there was this soft summer rain coming down, and they said to Frank and I as we're waiting for Marilyn, who's in the back room, it's raining. Do you guys want to go in? And we're like, yeah, we should probably go in, right? My part doesn't look good when it's wet and stuff like that. So they asked Marilyn, a New Hampshire, Great Northwoods young lady, tough, strong. They're a little nervous about the rain. She said, I don't need an umbrella. I'm fine. Let's go get this thing done. That's my wife. That's her. And my children, Jack and Emma, who are now 11 and 9 and growing right before my eyes. Yeah, you could nice little round of applause for them too, I guess. My father, who was introduced, you met my mother earlier. I have my sister Jessica right here next to my mother on my right-hand side. My Uncle John, my Uncle Penn, and my Aunt Robin as well. So big family day. Representative Candelora, I was listening to you and Jason back there, although we got excited because when you came back, the first thing that Representative Godfrey said was that you were there to wait upon the speaker. So I had plenty of plans for you guys back there, but apparently that's not going to work out right now. But it's trust. I mean, you said it best. We trust one another. And in this place and in politics, if you can't trust each other, nothing can get done. I talked to you last night at about 9 o'clock. You were the first person I talked to this morning. It doesn't happen by accident, right? This culture that we've created down here takes really, really hard work, and you have to trust each other, and I trust you implicitly, and I will have your back because I know that you have mine, and we'll have the back of this institution. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. And for my partner on the right, and it's nice to see you there, Jeff, as well, my friend. For Jay and I to lead this caucus together is tremendous. We used to sit back there. We used to joke that when we're there, we're going to fix everything. There'll be no problems. Well, I'm not sure that's entirely true. Things do pop up once in a while. But a lot of you do know that last year for Jason was a very difficult personal year, losing his mom and everything. And yet he never stops. He's full-time at Trinity. He's full-time as a dad. He's at those races. His daughter is an absolute cross-country star and basketball star. He does it all. And then he can still come here and lead the floor of the House. He has an exceptional amount of ability, both politically and not politically. And he can do anything that he wants at any time. And so I look forward to another great 2 years with you, my friend, and I appreciate your friendship a great deal. I have a few things to say. It will not be a long speech. It is ironic, though. It should be in the Alanis Morissette song, right? Because the Speaker of the House never speaks. They're so happy. This is the last time they'll hear my voice up here. Till June. I mean, I get to do introductions, but I don't participate in the debate. And, when Congress was first formed down in Washington, they were not sure what to make of the Speaker. The Speaker didn't vote for many years. He just sat there, or she just sat there and did nothing, basically. And you were sort of seen as an umpire. And so the position evolves. But one thing that holds true is I do not speak. But what's interesting about that, in the fact that I guess people don't really know what the Speaker does, is we get kids to come in a lot. We get a lot of school classes that come in. And inevitably, I find that there is one thing they are obsessed with about the job of the Speaker: the gavel. The first question from every kid, the kid could be from West Haven, the kid could be from North Branford: do you gavel people out a lot? No. How hard do you bang the gavel at people? I said, I don't bang the gavel at people. Do you throw the gavel at people? No, unless they're Notre Dame fans like McCarthy Vahey and Fazzino. But I don't throw the gavel. But it's interesting because they view this as a power symbol, right? And so that whoever holds this can come in here and do whatever he or she wants, and everybody sits here in submission. Well, that's certainly not how it works. But the reason it doesn't work that way is you all. This could be a weapon with unmatched power if you let it be so. but you don't. Governance by gavel is what a lot of states do. It's what Washington does. People get elected and they have new majorities. There's a new majority in DC, there's a new majority here. And the first thing that they plan to do is find ways to eliminate all of the opposition's power. That's how they spend the first 2 weeks. How can I make it so that the other side has no power? And then this is what they do in most states. And I've talked to you some about this. I go to the speakers' conferences and they look at me like I'm just this pie in the sky kid. They say, you probably have a golden doodle. Yes, I do. Yeah. This is how the day starts. 10 a.m., 1 minute prayer. 10:02, I'll let 3 of you get 1 minute to introduce people and 3 of you. 10:05, House Bill 5294, 4 minutes, no amendments, no questions. That's how they govern their chambers in the majority of the states in this country. Let that sink in. And if you're out of order, this is coming after you. Hard and loud, like those kids wondered. And is that what we want? Is that what democracy is? Is that why people put the position of speaker in the Constitution? No. How boring is that? That there's no action, there's no democracy. It's just strangling the ability of people to actually listen to one another. But the only reason it doesn't happen is you all. So why do I mean that? These are just rules, folks. They could change at any time. You elect the wrong person to a leadership position, to this position, and they could impose their will. Don't ever let that happen here in the state of Connecticut. Ever. And I'm going to remind you, on this side of the aisle, that the last I checked, the Democrats are the chairs of all the committees. And the last I checked, you have the majority in all the committees. So when we get to the last week of session and your bill can't run because there's no time, it's probably more your fault than theirs. And when you say it's a work in progress, why don't you put some progress in your work a little quicker? But I'll go right back at y'all. Because the reality is, if all you do is talk to obstruct and delay, if you don't partner in governance, the response will be swift to deal with that, right? So you both control what happens here. You all have power. All 151 of us make a decision. Let's make the right ones the way we've done for a long time here in this chamber. Parting thought is for the new members. Somehow, I'm supposed to, in about 2.5 minutes, impart some words of wisdom on the new members, right? And before I do that, I do want to give a round of applause to our retiring members, the ones not coming back, the ones that mentored you. There's a lot of them. It was a big class in terms of that. And so I just want to take a second to thank all of our members who served very well the last 2 years. And so to the new members, you know, I've talked to a lot of you, and you're all going to do a great job, and it's a very talented class. And some of you say, what is my greatest challenge? What is going to be the thing that will set me back the most? It is your own certainty. That will be your biggest challenge. Because you ran on platforms, and you got elected and convinced people that you had a good platform. And so transitioning from elections to governing is really hard. And as I just mentioned, most states never transition. They just beat up each other for another 2 years. But if all you think about is labeling people, this person's from New Haven, I promise you they'll vote that way. This person's from wherever, they're going to vote that way. This person's Republican, I promise they'll vote that way. Just you wait. You have to get to know people to be effective. So if you want to be empowered in your own certainty, never challenge your own opinions, you'll have a reputation. You will not be an effective legislator. So I say that, and there's examples of this. Ask Mitch Belinsky and Jane Garibay how fun it was to do that aging bill last year, right? Yeah. Ask Lucy Dathan and Jay Case, who tackled a huge bill 2 years ago dealing with folks with intellectual and physical disabilities. Ask the Children's Mental Health, Tammy Exum and Liz Linehan and Christy Carpino and Tammy Nuccio and Jonathan Steinberg. We do big things in this chamber together, and that's not going to change. Okay? Yeah, I think they deserve a round of applause. So let me close with this. It's a tremendous honor to be reelected, not as the Speaker of the House, but the Speaker of this House. Because I know we are a throwback to a different time. We govern without this. This, except for when Chris Rosario has it, silently sits there most times, right? And we run our chamber on a culture, not some ironclad rules or obscure procedural technicalities. We govern collectively, and that's why I love this job very much. Thank you for giving me the honor to do it again. Thank you.